Just talks while I'm talking in my ear. What did you say, Rufus? Oh, wow, okay, so it's quite important. There are reports coming in that Antonio Conte to Spurs is a done deal. I can't confirm that, but they're the reports coming in that Antonio Conte to Spurs is done. If that's the case, that's absolutely massive, isn't it? Absolutely massive.
It's not the biggest surprise, bearing in mind what's happened over the last 24 hours. They've moved swiftly. They've made a big call, and they've decided it's over. Fair enough. You've got to sometimes face up to mistakes and deal with them and move forward, and that looks as if they're exactly what they're doing. It's the best thing for the club. Look, I remember what Crystal Palace did with De Boer, right? It clearly, and this was less than 10 games, clearly they realised that it was one big muck-up.
Rick.
And they made it, yeah. And they decided to make the change. That's what you've got to do. You've got to make big decisions sometimes. If it ain't working, do it.
Do you know what I'm surprised about? I was talking to the boys in the office last week about this when I was doing Drive Time proper show. I'm amazed that we don't see big money moves for managers. They are more. I'd rather have a world-class manager than a world-class player. I'd rather have the best manager in world football than the best player, right? I'm just amazed in this day and age. Antonio Conte, fair play to Daniel Levy if he's got his man. Fair play to Spurs for, as you said, getting rid of Nuno and going out and getting the right man, right? And they've slapped whatever the difference was between 4 months ago and now and the problems. They've sorted it out. They've ironed it out incredibly quickly. I'm just amazed that when clubs looking for a manager don't go, we'll have you and we'll pay you £80 million to the manager, to the club that he's at. I don't understand that. You know, Harry Kane was between, 150 million, whatever the deal was. Man City, you'll never, ever get a club pay that much for a manager. I don't understand why not.
Well, the thing is, when you make a change, you get rid of him. So, yes, when you buy a player, let's say, I don't know, De Bruyne has been bought by Man City, right? If Pep doesn't get a tune out of him, they still got De Bruyne, and they've still got other players around him. If Pep can't get a tune out of him, so you can only make one change. You can't sack all the players, obviously, right? So you've got to get rid of the manager.
No, but what I'm saying is I've never understood why a club won't go out and get the right man and pay copious amounts of money for him. That never happens, does it?
Well, to a degree, it does. I mean, you know, we're talking, they're earning millions of pounds a year.
No, I know, but like Chelsea famously get rid of their managers, right? More often than not. They've never got a manager from a club and had to pay £80 million compensation, have they?
We did.
Not 80. I think with
AVB.
AVB was one, but that was £27 million, I think you had to pay. Right?
Is that not enough for you?
Well, not when you think what £27 million buys you for a player.
I know, but imagine we spend £80 million on him.
What do you mean?
Well, there's no guarantees with him. The manager will always get sacked. The players won't.
I know, so but I'd rather chances. Okay, I'm going to bring Fred into the equation. Maybe I shouldn't, but we paid £50 million for Fred, right?
Right.
If you're prepared to pay £27 million for what you consider to be one of the best managers in world football, and you're paying £50 million for, you know, a CDM, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Which is worth more to the club? A manager that, in theory, you think can turn things around, get you up the league table, get you Champions League football, maybe win you a trophy, or one player? I'm just staggered that we don't see more of that.
You can always get money back off Fred. You know, you might be able to get rid of him for 20 million. So therefore, it's cost you 30 million. You can't sell a manager. The only way you get rid of a manager is two ways. One, either you sack him or he walks out. But
I'm talking about bringing a manager in. Anyway, we're going around in circles. In a minute, we're going to get Alex Crook on the show.
You want Fred to manage Man United? Is that what you just said?
We're going to get Alex Crook on the show to give us more on that. While we're waiting for that, let's speak to a couple of Spurs fans, because if you're joining us late, we understand there's news sort of filtering out that the deal for Conte has been done. As soon as we hear more on that, you'll hear it first on talkSPORT. Danny's a Spurs fan. He joins us now. Hello, Danny.
All right, man.
Hi, Dan. So listen, we're hearing, it's not confirmed yet, but we're hearing it's a done deal. If that is the case, Danny, you must be over the moon.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. Although, if I was to look at the wider circle, Andy, Jose Mourinho was appointed 2 years ago. And whenever Jose was appointed 2 years ago, a lot of Spurs fans were under the belief that this was the time, or that was the time that Daniel Levy was actually going to, fully back the manager to compete with the likes, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and he just didn't do it. Jose wasn't fully back. So at the same time, as I say, don't get me wrong, I am buzzing with the appointment of Conte, but at the same time, as I say, I'm a bit sceptical, and I just wouldn't bet my bottom dollar that Daniel Levy will fully back Conte, even though he probably did say in the talks that he would. But if you ask Harry Kane, I'm sure he'd be the first to turn around and say that Daniel Levy isn't a man of his words. So, as I say, I'm not holding my breath, and I just put it that way.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, thanks for your call. We'll go back to the lines in a moment, but we understand Alex Crook, talkSPORT reporter Alex Crook, has more on this supposed breaking news. Hi, Alex. How are you?
The gong is back.
I don't even know why we've played that. I really don't.
It's been a long time since we've heard that on talkSPORT.
Not long enough. Where are we at then? Where are we at with this deal? So is it a done deal to your understanding?
I think it's been a done deal for most of the evening, in all honesty. I was told by sources very close to Tottenham earlier this afternoon they didn't expect to make an announcement tonight, but they were ready to make an announcement that Antonio Conte would be their new manager tomorrow morning. I think that is still very much on course. I think what's interesting here is we're hearing it's a verbal agreement that has been reached between Antonio Conte and Tottenham. And of course, verbal agreements and Tottenham have been all the rage, haven't they, when you look at Harry Kane and his verbal agreement to be allowed to leave. So I think there's some irony there. But it will happen, Andy. An 80-month contract, terms on that agreed. Double the money that Nuno Espirito Santo was earning during his short tenure. This is Daniel Levy going for broke on a manager that he knows is a serial winner. He knows that he comes with a fair amount of baggage in terms of the demands that he will put on the owners and the sporting director. And I think it will be interesting now. I wouldn't be surprised, and I talked to Adrian on Drive about this earlier, if Daniel Levy just maybe takes a bit of a step back from the football side and leaves it to the sporting director, who of course has a long-standing relationship with Antonio Conte, and lets them really run the day-to-day matters at the football club, because we saw from that Amazon documentary Daniel Levy is very hands-on, and listen, clearly he's very good at certain elements of the job. I think that we'll all agree the stadium that Tottenham now play in is just about the best in the Premier League, if not the best in Europe. They've got a fantastic training ground as well, but the football decisions that Daniel Levy has taken over the last couple of seasons haven't necessarily worked out to such good effect. So I do think this could be a change of the way that Tottenham operate.
Okay, when do you think this will be formally announced then?
If I was a gambling man, I would say late morning, 11 o'clock, something like that. I think they want Antonio Conte to take training tomorrow. The Tottenham players were told this morning that there would be a swift resolution, unlike the summer, of course, when it became a real saga in terms of who would be the Tottenham manager. And the vibe I'm getting is that the Tottenham players are genuinely quite enthused and quite excited by this appointment. Harry Kane, we've spoken a lot about him and his body language, and I think he is someone who is still struggling mentally to deal with the fact that he didn't get that dream move to Manchester City. I wonder if Antonio Conte might just be able to get Harry Kane back to his very best.
Alex, always a pleasure. I know it's past your bedtime. We woke you up. I can only apologise, but thanks so much for coming on and keeping us updated.
No problem. I'll go back to sleep.
Well, no, I'm sure you're going to listen to the rest of the show. That's what you meant, Alex, right?
Of course,
yeah,
absolutely.
That's what you meant. Okay, we'll edit that last bit out. There you go, talkSPORT's Alex Crook. Basically telling us one of the worst kept secrets. We sort of knew it was going to happen, Jay, but more of a question of when, not if. But if that is the news, which should break at some stage, maybe late tomorrow morning, I think that's absolutely massive. I won't go to him now because I haven't got time. We'll go to a break when we come back to him. But Carl's an Arsenal fan. He's going to have his say in just a moment. But it says, under his name, it says Spurs can go and get Conte, but they'll still finish below us. I disagree. I think if Conte does go to Spurs, and it looks like that deal is done, I think there's every chance, and I'm guessing he will believe it as well, that Spurs have got an opportunity to still make top four this season. We are, a third of the way through it now. So there's still everything to play for.
Why not? I mean, my guess is no, that they won't finish in the top four, but that will be his aim. No question he'll be aiming for that. He demands and he... Absolutely. If you do not give what he demands, you are out. He is relentless. Trust me, he's relentless. But, it'll be interesting what the Arsenal fans got to say on that, because clearly, if he gets it right, Conte, he's going to do some damage.